Hello and welcome back. My name is Tom Stark from One Stone Web, and here on our channel, we're trying to help you to fall in love with using SP Page Builder with Joomla to build incredible websites with high impact in a very simplified, easy manner that allows you to maximize your time when building websites. Again, today we're going to look at the columns. There's a couple of other settings in columns that make them really powerful, especially for when you want to change the layout or the visibility of some things when you're using tablets or mobile devices. So let's take a look at those settings right now. So here we are in our home page that we're building for our tutorial. And we're going to look at the final set of settings in the column options, which is, well, there's animation, which we'll look at as well, but responsive. Now, responsive is an incredibly powerful tool. It gives you the ability to move your content around so that format's better on tablets and mobile devices. So currently, we have a 12 wide with two 6 wides in this layout. If you don't change anything, we're going to get rid of this row from the last lesson, delete it, say okay, it was left over from the last lesson, and save it. If you reload this page, if you don't change anything, when your screen gets down to a tablet, these will become full width because that is a default in Bootstrap. So if I scroll down, and as soon as I get to tablet mode, which you'll know because we'll go to a hamburger model, notice everything stacks on top of one another. And that will be true as well on a phone, mobile device. And obviously we didn't set, paddings or columns or anything, paddings or margins for any of these devices. But you notice when it gets to here, it jumps. What you can do is you can say, so this one's going to be 12 wide. We're okay with that. But this one currently is 2 columns wide or 2 columns of 6s. So in the tablet layout, you can change this to a 6 and save, and then change this to a 6 in the tablet layout. As long as they add up to 12, they'll be right next to each other, and save. And then when we reload and we bring this over into tablet mode, notice it's jumped to tablet mode here, and they're next to each other. And then when it gets small enough to be in the phone width mode, they start jumping on top of one another the way they should. But suppose when you get down to here and you come down to here and you say, you know what? I really want this one to be a little bit wider than this one. Although they are 6 by 6 here, and you like them 6 by 6 on the desktop, you can come into here and say, I want this one to be 5 and save, and I want this one to be 7. 5 plus 7 is 12, and save it. And then what happens is when you reload it and you bring it down to the whoop, I missed it. If you bring it, try this again. I don't know what's going on with my mouse here. Here we go. When you bring it down to the tablet, which is right about here, hard to tell, but it is a little bit wider on this side than it is this side. So let's exaggerate this. Let's bring this one, column options, responsive. We're going to make this a 4 and an 8. And then when you reload this, it gets a little bit wider on the tablet mode right here. See, we're in tablet mode. It's wider here than it is here. So you can control how your content lays out with setting your column options responsive per device. We're just going to take these off for now, save it. There's a couple other things I want to talk about in here. You can choose, we're going to get to this section in a minute because this is really cool. You can choose to hide columns or individual elements or entire rows on mobile devices, tablets, or desktops. There have been times where no matter how much formatting I did, I could not get my layout that was designed for a PC to look good on a phone. So I have made layouts, not often, but made layouts where I have two identical columns. One works, it's hidden on the mobile, which means it shows up on tablet and desktop. And then the other one with identical content is hidden on a tablet and desktop, but shows on the mobile. Typically, it has to do with whether I parallax backgrounds or the way I design the background images. Parallaxing on mobile devices does not work really well. So a lot of times when we have a request to parallax background, we will do something like this. But you can hide a column. Like if I were to take this column here and I were to say, let's hide it on the tablet, but leave it on the desktop and the phone or mobile device, and we refresh, you're going to see that when we come down, when we get the tablet width, it disappears. It's gone. And because it's gone, this goes back to full width because the column's hidden. And then it'll show back up on the phone. So we'll shut off. But the really cool part about this whole little section, which is why we're doing a video on it, is you can change the order in which things display on different devices. So currently on a computer, you've laid it out for this to be the top, this to be the left, this to be the right. I want to make sure these are 6 by 6 just to make sure that, yeah, we are reset them back. But suppose on the tablet, you want this information to be the first thing people see. So if you come up to here, and because these are all in the same row, what you do here will impact, will have an effect, I should say, on everything in here because it's all within the same row. So suppose on the tablet, come down here to responsive, the tablet order, you want this to be first, okay? And then this is the second thing you want them to see on the tablet. You come down here to responsive, tablet order, this is 2. And you must set a number because if you don't set a number, it'll default to 0 and this will jump to the top. So come in here, column options, responsive, and set this to 3 and save it again. And when we reload, watch what happens when we get over to the tablet size. This is going to jump above this. Ready? There it goes. And then this jumped to, oh, I still have that hidden on the third device. So I need to come into, where am I here? I need to come into here and turn this off. Apply and save and reload. And now this will jump down to number 3 because it's right down there and it's still only set to this wide. So it's only because we set it to 8 wide, even though there's nothing next to this, this is going full width because this is locked in at 8 wide, it's giving space over here. So what we need to be careful to do is to come into here and make sure that this is set to 0 and this is set to 0 so that it works perfectly and the order's fine. And save and reload, and now when we bring this across and it jumps down, it's the full width again. So you can change the order, and you know what? Let's do one more thing just to show you how powerful this is. Let's make this the first thing people see on the phone. Mobile order, this will be the first thing. This will be the second thing they see on the phone. So we come into here, column options, responsive. And on the phone, this is 2. Save, and then this will be 3. Column options, responsive. And set this to 3. And save it. And when we refresh, don't drag it, resize it. So on the tablet, this is the 3rd. This is actually the 2nd block on the computer. Jumps to the top here. When we go down to the phone, this is now at the top. This is now 2nd. This is 3rd. Some of the most powerful tools you can have are built into these column options in this responsive section. So don't be afraid to maneuver things around in your layouts, depending on what is the most important thing you want people to see in your layouts. Animation is just like everything else. You can do animation per row. You can do animation per add-on. You can do animation per column. So let me show you what animation does. Animation is something that happens when an element comes into view for the very first time. So on this page, because everything is shown, you will see the animations happen instantly. So if we want to take this whole row here, and we're going to say let's bring a fade in down. We're going to make it last 1 whole second, which is 1,000. This is a millisecond, so 1,000 milliseconds is a second. And we're going to say, you know what? Delay by a half a second and apply it. And then what we'll do, just so you can see it, come into here, go animation. And this one we're going to go fade in left, which means fade in from the left. We'll change this to 1,000 again. We'll change this to 500 just to stay consistent. And then we'll come into this column, animation fade in right, which means fade in from the right. 1,000 or 1 second long, and then a half a second long. And apply and save. Now watch what happens. See how it kind of faded in and moved in? That's the animations that you can set. Now, in order to show you this, we're going to duplicate this. And we're going to leave everything identical with the exception of we're going to change this background to white just so you can see the difference of them. Yes. Save and save. And what will happen is when I reset the page, you're going to see this animation because they're all on view. When I scroll down, as soon as that top one comes in, you notice it dropped in, and then as soon as these other two come in, they fade in. Now they only happen once. If you scroll up and down, they will not continue to go up and down. That is found in the individual elements animation that we'll see when we go to the front end editing, which is how we're probably going to start editing everything from here on out. SP Page Builder 4, which just released this week, does not have a back-end editor in it. I just felt like it was easier to see the structure of the columns in this view. So we'll get back to front-end editing in the next video when we start getting back to add-ons. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you learned anything from it, once again, please like the video, share the video, follow our channel, stay up to date. If you have any questions or comments, please write them below. If you have any questions on how to do something in SP Page Builder, please put them in the comments below and we will gladly get back to you. You have yourself a great week and enjoy designing with SP Page Builder.